Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I am so very glad that you've decided to join me today. I've got a flow for you focusing on happy hips and a nice strong back. Now, if that sounds good to you, roll out your mat, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Be firm, sending that right foot back. Now we will begin our practice today by laying on our backs, coming down into a corpse pose. We'll move to our full body stretch, pointing the toes off the top of the mat, circling the arms up overhead and reaching to the back, reaching long with the fingers and the toes. And taking a couple deep breaths here, fully filling the lungs with air, feeling a lift to the abdomen, and then letting it all go, releasing the breath out before starting fresh with a new big breath in. And with our next exhale, we'll move our arms to our cactus pose. Now, if you notice that you're feeling a little stuck and can't get both elbows down to the mat, lift one shoulder, tuck the shoulder blade into the spine, into the other shoulder blade, and settle the hips back, settle the shoulders back down. This will give you a little more space across the front of your body. And then we'll start to walk the bottoms of the feet in and then out towards the outer edges of the mat. Now notice if you have an arch to your low back that's not touching the mat, we'll lift the hips, we'll roll them forward, and we'll set that low back down to the earth. Now we'll find a little windshield wipering here with the legs, taking both knees in the same direction, lifting them through center, and then taking them over to the other side. Moving them back and forth in a pace that feels right to you and your body today. Now lifting both knees back up towards the ceiling, we're going to try and keep our feet about hips distance apart as we heel toe both feet at the same time over to our left side. So our right foot should be over towards the side of our mat and our left foot should be off the side of our mat. Now we'll drop both knees to the left. So we're starting to curl towards one side. And then we can pick up the foot of our left, drape it over our right knee, and add a little more pressure into our twist. Now we have another option here to add a little more twisting by extending our right arm fully long at a 45-degree angle away from the body, up towards the top edge of our mat, to find a little opening across the armpit. Now we'll remove our left foot from our right knee, lift both legs back up, and we'll heel toe or walk them through center to our other side. So the left foot is on the right side of our mat. We'll drop both knees to the right. And then we can pick up our right foot and drape it over the left knee, gently pressing it into the floor. Then again, we have that option to extend our left arm long at that angle away from the body. Find some opening across the armpit. Now again, we'll remove the right foot from the left leg, lift both knees back up, bring the arms back to our cactus as we heel toe the feet back in line with the hip. We'll walk them a little bit closer towards the body, and then circle the arms down to our sides. We'll lift the hips into our bridge pose, pressing into the feet. Bringing the core up towards the sky, squeezing the glutes. And tucking chin towards chest. Now we'll lower the hips back down to the earth. And with our next 3 breaths, with our inhale, we'll lift the hips. And with our exhale, we'll lower them back down. We'll do 2 more. Inhale to lift, squeeze the glutes. Exhale to lower. And 1 more time, lifting the hips. And lowering them back down. Now making sure that our low back is firmly planted to the floor. We'll lift both knees and we'll curl into a ball, wrapping the arms around the legs, lifting the back of the head off the mat, chin to chest, rolling in nice and tight. We can find a little rocking side to side. And then we're going to move our arms from our legs to either the big toes, moving the arms to the inside of our thighs and wrapping our pointer and middle fingers around our big toes, or around the outside pinky side edge of our feet. And we'll move to our happy baby from here, dropping the back of the head back down to the mat. We'll press the bottoms of the feet up towards the sky, keeping a big bend in the knees. We'll take the knees wider than our rib cage, and we'll gently pull the bottoms of the feet with the hands down towards the floor. Now we can start to play around with this pose. We can find a rocking side to side. We can extend one leg long, and then the other. You can wiggle the legs all around. Now we're moving our hands from our feet to the backs of our thighs. And we're again tucking into a ball. So we're bringing the legs in closer together and the knees towards the chest. We're going to start to rock forward and back. And getting a little bit of momentum. And then next time our feet are down, we can press into the ground and make our way to a standing pose, to our mountain pose or our Tadasana. Bringing the feet underneath the knees, underneath the hips, we'll pick up the toes, spread them out wide and set them down, gripping them into the earth. Tucking the hips forward slightly so we can stand up nice and tall. We'll lift the shoulders up to the ears. Squeeze them down and back. We'll rotate the palms forward and close the eyes, taking a few deep breaths here. So we really press those toes into the earth. And then with our next in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead, reaching tall to the sky. Exhale, we'll move to our cactus pose, drawing the shoulder blades in together. Inhale to reach the hands back up. And with our exhale, we'll hinge at the waist, bow the chest forward. Inhale for a halfway lift, bringing the fingertips to the shins or to the thighs, reaching forward with the top of the head, and starting to engage the core, drawing the belly button in towards the spine. With our exhale, we'll hinge and bow forward again. Now we'll spend a little bit of time here in our forward fold, so we can play around however feels right. We can pedal out the legs. We can swivel or shake out the hips. Or you can grab for opposite elbows and find a sway side to side with the upper body. Or any other variation that your body is asking for. With our next in-breath, we'll move back to a halfway lift, drawing the core in and up. Exhale to fold. We'll add as much of a bend to the knees as we need to drop the hands down, and then we'll heel toe the feet out once. Now starting to add more of a bend to the knees, we're turning the toes out and the heels in, as we start to squat down into our Yogi squat or our Malasana squat. Using the elbows to press the knees away from each other to give us some stability here. Now if your heels do not touch the floor, that's okay. It's our first big deep squat of the day. You can stay up. You can even have your hands forward to help with the balance or take some of the pressure out of the body. Now we can find peace in stillness, or we can start to find some twisting, some movement, more opening of the hips by lifting one heel and twisting to the other side, swaying side to side. Coming back through center, we'll drop the fingertips down in front of the body so we can shift forward, press into the hands, lift the legs long. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then we'll again add more of a bend to the knees so that we can bring the chest and the thighs a little bit closer together. We'll start to tuck or round the pelvis under, and we'll continue that rolling motion up the spine, allowing the hands and the top of the head to be heavy. We'll really take our time, making our way back up to a standing position. The chin will be the very last thing that we lift in our roll. And then we can find some shoulder rolls or some shrugs at the top. And we can heel, toe the feet back in underneath of the hips. Wiggling out to reset, we'll move to the top of our mat. With a big breath in, we'll reach the arms up overhead. Exhale to our cactus. We can start to find a baby back bend by lifting the chest and sliding the eyes up the wall in front of us. Inhale to send the arms up overhead again. Exhale, we'll hinge at the waist and bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We'll drop the hands down, step, hop, or float the feet back, and find our plank pose. Spreading the fingertips out nice and wide, gripping them into the earth. We'll shift a little further forward. And with our exhale, we'll lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Untuck the toes, press into the tops of the feet, press into the hips. With our in-breath, we'll lift the chest, lift the eyes, draw the shoulders down the back for Cobra Pose. Exhale, we'll lower closer to the floor to tuck the toes under. Inhale, press through our plank to our down dog. We'll wiggle and pedal out here. Again, moving in a way that feels right. And then when you're ready, go ahead and lift the left foot up towards the sky. We'll circle the ankle around in one direction and then around in the other. Now we'll start to bend at the knee and draw knee to nose, rounding and rolling forward as we step the left foot through the hands to the top of the mat. Full breath in and an even larger breath back out. Pressing evenly into both feet. Inhale to our crescent lunge, reaching the arms up towards the sky. Big bend in our front knee, our left knee. Little bend in our right. Now we're going to find some opening of our chest here. We've got two different options. We can move our arms to our cactus pose, drawing those shoulder blades in together, lifting from the chest. Or if you'd like to find a little bit bigger of a chest opening, a back bend, we can keep our arms in a V shape overhead as we again lift the chest, lift the eyes, reach back with the hands. Now, whichever variation we're in, we'll bring the chest forward again. And with our exhale, we'll bring our right hand out in front of the body. Circle it down, drop it beside the left, and reach the left hand up to the sky for a gentle twist. Exhale, we'll circle the left hand down and around, frame out our front foot. We'll fight in forward and back shifting motion to pop us up on our left, and we'll step our right foot in about halfway. The right toes are pointed off the side of our mat at a 45-degree angle away. With an inhale, we'll lift the upper body back up towards the sky. And we'll press back through the hips as we reach forward with the hands, stretching the arms out long in front of the body as we hinge forward to our pyramid pose. The hands can land on the shin, or they can land on the floor, or keeping that long spine, sending those hips back. Now we'll start to add the bend back into our left knee so that we can pick up our right leg. We'll sweep our right leg up towards the sky for a standing splits. Then we'll again bend into our left, reach our right toes to the back of the mat, drop them down to the floor. Inhale for our crescent lunge. Big bend in the front knee, little bend in the back. Reaching long with the fingertips, press back through the hips. With our exhale, this time keeping our front leg bent, we'll move to our humble warrior, sweeping the arms up and back, drawing the shoulder blades together and softening the chest to the inside of our left knee. Again, with an inhale, we'll send the arms back up to the sky. And then with our exhale, we'll drop them down, frame out our front foot. And then we'll move our left hand to the inside of our left leg. We can heel toe that left foot out once or twice as we move to our lizard pose, pressing forward with the hips. Chest comes forward. Now we can keep our right leg lifted, or we can drop our right knee down. But we'll stay here for a little while in our lizard pose, softening the hips towards the top of our mat. We can drop down onto forearms, or we can stay up on the hands. Now walking the hands underneath of the chest again, we're going to keep our left foot out to the side where it is as we tuck our right toes under, lift our right knee off the mat, press the hips up so that we can step our right foot to the top outer edge of our mat, drop the hips down, and find our Malasana squat at the top of the mat. We'll drop the hands down to the floor, shift forward slightly to reach the hips up towards the sky. Heel toe the feet back underneath of the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive the arms. Send the hands up towards the sky, reach tall. Exhale to our cactus. Inhale to send the arms back up. Exhale, sweep them out to the sides, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Drop the hands down, step, hop, or float the feet back. Plank pose. Spread the fingertips out nice and wide. Press into the earth. We'll chaturanga to an up dog or a cobra. And then we'll send the hips up and back for a down dog. Wiggling out a little more. And then we'll sweep our right leg up and back. Reach the toes towards the sky. We'll circle the ankle around in one direction. And then around in the other. We'll bring knee to nose, rounding through the spine as we shift forward. And step the right foot towards the top of the mat. Bring a full breath in. And an even larger breath back out. Pressing into both feet. Inhale to lift up into our crescent lunge. Send the arms to the sky. Big bend into the right knee, little bend into the left. Now we'll find a little more chest opening. So we have those two variations again, either finding our cactus pose or our wide V pose. Inhale, we'll send the chest back up. Exhale, we'll sweep our left hand towards the top of the mat. Bring it down beside the right foot. Gentle twist, reach the right hand up tall. And then exhale, we'll circle our right hand down and around. Frame out our right foot. Shift forward. Lift the left leg. We'll set it down a little closer. point the toes away. Inhale to float up, reach tall. And then we're lengthening from our fingertips, sending the hips back behind as we hinge and soften towards our right leg for our pyramid pose. Again, hands can land on the leg or they can land on the floor. We'll add a little more bend into our right knee, and we'll sweep our left up towards the sky, standing splits. And then we'll press back through the right toes as we drop them down to the floor. Inhale, crescent lunge, reach the arms up. And again, we want a really long, strong back, pressing back through the hips, forward with the hands. As we soften to our humble warrior, we can keep the hands forward, or we can airplane them behind the back. If we are doing so, we're pulling the shoulder blades together and down the spine. With our inhale, we'll float back up again. And with our exhale, we'll circle the arms fully forward, bring them down, frame out our front foot. And then we'll scooch our right hand to the inside of our right foot. We'll heel toe the foot out once or twice and move to our lizard pose on this side. Soften the hips forward. We can keep our left leg floating, or we can drop our left knee down. We can stay up on our hands, or we can lower to our forearms. We can even take our right hand and gently press the left knee away from the body. Now pressing the right foot into the floor where it is, walk the hands underneath of the chest. We'll pick up our left leg. Find a little forward and back shifting motion. 2, step our left foot up, lower the hips. Malasana squat. Again, this time, instead of it being a passive deep stretch, we're going to make it a little bit more active. So instead of collapsing the hips and finding a little rounding through the spine, we're going to find a really long spine. Press the elbows into the knees, knees into the elbows, hands together, and reach the spine along. We're going to find a little lifting through the body as we do so. Pressing into the feet. Taking a few deep breaths. And then we'll drop the hands down, send the hips back up towards the sky. Heel toe the feet underneath of the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale to circle the arms up overhead, reaching tall towards the sky. Exhale to our cactus, optional back bend. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale, we'll drop the hands down, and we'll take a moment to reset, wiggling out through the body. Maybe getting a drink of water. And we'll go through that flow one more time, just a little bit faster, moving more so with our breath. So when you're ready, make your way back to the top of your mat. With a big breath in, we'll sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale to our cactus. Inhale to reach tall. Exhale to hinge forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Drop the hands, step, hop, or float back. Inhale to our up dog or cobra. Exhale to our down dog. Inhale, we'll sweep our left leg up. Exhale, we'll curl in and step it forward. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out. Inhale to our crescent lunge. Exhale to our twist. Plant the right hand. Inhale to twist. Open the chest. Exhale to bring the left hand down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to plant the right foot down at a 45-degree angle away. Inhale to float the body back up. With our exhale, press the hips back, reach the arms forward, bow to our pyramid pose. Full big breath in. Even bigger breath back out. In breath to plant the hands, shift forward, lift the right leg. Exhale, we'll step the right toes down. Inhale to sweep the arms up, crescent lunge. Exhale to our humble warrior, sweep the arms up and back behind, soften the chest, big bend in our front knee. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out. Inhale to float the body back up, crescent lunge. Exhale to cartwheel the hands, frame out the front foot. Inhale to press the hips forward. Exhale to drop the right knee. Inhale to sweep the hands up. Exhale, low lunge. Press the hips forward. We'll stay here for 2 breath cycles. And then we'll press into our left leg and extend it towards straight. With our exhale, we'll press the hips back behind, reach forward with the hands as we move to our halfway splits. Softening the chest closer to the thigh, we can bring the hands down to the mat, or we can airplane them up and back behind the body. We'll stay here for a little bit. Now staying low to the floor. As we walk forward to our low lunge again, circle the hand to the inside of our left leg, heel toe the foot out once, toes pointing away from the body. Inhale to lift the right knee, lift the hips up so that we can step the right foot in and up. And with our exhale, drop the hips down to our yogi squat. Now it's up to you if this time you want it to be more active or more passive. So we'll take a moment here. And then we'll drop the hands down in front of the body. Lifting the hips up towards the sky, heel toe the feet, back underneath of the body. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive the arms. Reach to the sky. Exhale to our cactus. Inhale to reach. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, drop the hands, step back. Inhale to our cobra or our up dog. Exhale to our down dog. Inhale to lift the right leg. Exhale to roll and shift forward, step it through. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out. Inhale to our crescent lunge. Reach the arms up, big bend in our front, little bend in our back. Exhale to our chest opener. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to plant the left hand. Inhale to gently twist. Exhale to plant the right hand. Shift forward. Exhale, drop the left foot a little closer to the right. Inhale to lift the body up. Exhale, reach back with the hips, forward with the hands as we bow. Inhale. And an exhale. Next inhale, we'll put a bend back into our front leg and sweep the left leg up. Exhale to reach it back and step it down. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale to our humble warrior. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out. Inhale to sweep back up. Exhale to cartwheel the hands down. Inhale to soften the hips forward. Exhale, we'll drop our left knee. Inhale to sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, press the hips forward, low lunge. We'll take a moment. And then we'll press into the right foot, lengthen the right leg long. Press back through the hips as we reach forward, slowly soften the chest towards our right leg. The hands can airplane, or the hands can come down to the mat. We'll again take a few moments here. And then we'll stay low to the floor as we shift forward, low lunge. Circle the right hand inside of our right foot. Heel toe it out once. We'll lift the back leg and step it forward. Again, Malasana squat. Drop the hips down. Lift the chest forward. Take the eyes out in front of the body. Now we're going to drop our hands down in front of the body, shift forward so that our hands take some of the weight. As we start to walk the legs in closer together, we'll circle the arms on either side of the legs now so that we can wrap our hands around them. Now be very, very careful with this next move. Please drop chin to chest because we're going to roll back onto our mat, which can be very fun, but please don't smack your head when you do so. So keep curled into a tight ball as we roll back and forward and back and forward a couple of times. Until we lose momentum. And curl into a nice tight ball. We'll lift chin to chest again. Hug the legs in nice and close. We can rock side to side or forward and back. We'll leave the left knee to the chest as we extend the right long and lower it all the way down. We'll drop the back of the head back to the mat as we guide that left knee over towards the right side of our mat. Very gentle twist. Untwisting. We'll give our left knee another big squeeze to the body. We'll bring the right leg up and switch. Hug the right in, extend the left. And then we'll gentle twist on this side, guide that right knee across the left side of the body. And again, we'll untwist. Bring the right knee back in for another big squeeze. Bring the left leg back up. Hug both into the chest. Now from here we can move to our Shavasana pose. If you would like to stay and let all of this goodness soak in with a little bit of meditation, or we can rock and roll forward and back a few more times to pop us up into a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall. We can either bring our hands to our knees, palms up towards the sky, or we can bring hands to heart center. But we'll close our eyes and we'll take a large breath in through the nose and let the breath go as an open mouth sigh. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.